think we've got a little pace advantage on him here, though. Just got to find a spot to do it. He defends. What's up, guys? Hobo88 here, and it's with a heavy heart that we are in Assetto Corsa today, and that's to celebrate the life of Sir Frank Williams, who passed away, unfortunately. One of the great icons of the Formula One scene, past, present, and as a driver, but probably more so as a team owner. Williams has been around for a long time, and very successful over a long period of time as well, achieved great things as a team, and it's sad news to hear that news today. But what I've decided to do here is jump in and do a race in some old F1 cars on Assetto Corsa. I felt like, for me, the most fitting decision for this was to have a look back at, you know, notable races from the past and look at recreating one. And for me, when I think about Williams, I really think back to these late 80s, and this is a 1986 Williams that you can see on screen right now, driven by Nigel Mansell to second place in the championship in 1986. But during the year, for me, a race that I remember watching, you know, on YouTube and things like that in more recent years, because this was before my time, obviously, was the 1986 British Grand Prix, the last Grand Prix to be held at Brands Hatch, and it was a pretty hectic sort of an event. There was a big crash at the start of the race, delayed the start by an hour and a half. There was a really nasty crash, which is, you know, real shame. Jacques Latif was involved, and he actually broke both his legs. It ended his career as a Formula One driver. Had to cut him out of the car, airlift him out, and it was, yeah, a pretty nasty race in that sense. But they cleared it up, they got going again, and Williams went on to get a 1-2 in that race. Nigel Mansell won the race from Nelson Piquet, and it was a pretty notable race for Williams. It was actually the first time back at the track for Frank, first time that he'd made an appearance since the crash that paralysed him earlier in the year. So he was back at the track, it was his first time, and the team went on to get a really good 1-2. The British Grand Prix, British driver, British team, a pretty notable victory in the history of Williams in 1986. And these are the cars that I think of when I think of the best of Williams. These Cannon blue, white and yellow cars, thunderous, fire-breathing, hell-bent machines, absolutely terrifying technology. And the bravery to drive one of these things must have been immense at the time. And this is what I think of when I think of Williams. This is the sort of cars that I think of, and this particular race was a big one in the history of this team, and I think a fitting race to go back and look at. So we're going to do that today. We're going to go through, I've set all of the grid, the driver AI stuff is all set. We've got the actual grid based on where all the drivers started after the accident. So for the restart of the race, we're going to do 30 laps around Brands Hatch GP, and we're going to see if we can recreate this and see whether or not we can win the race from P2 on the grid. We would be in a backup car if it were in real life. On the initial start, a failure for Mansell meant that he had to revert to the backup car. So we'd be in the backup car for the start of the race off the front row of the grid with our teammate. Let's see whether or not we can go through 30 laps and make it happen again here in the sim. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit me up in the comments and the like button below if you did. Don't forget to follow me in all the places, and make sure you subscribe here on YouTube as well if you haven't done so already and you enjoy the content. But here we go, guys. The 1986 British Grand Prix. Alright, here we go. Lights about to go out. That's a good start. Oh, a bit of a hog down in the second phase. Managed to hold on to second though. Cold tyres. Oh, big moment. Big brake lock. On lap number 1 on cold tyres, we've got to be so careful. I didn't actually look, so I'm not sure what tyres the other cars have gone on. But I'm on a medium tyre, not the hardest tyre. I hope it will last. Oh, big misshift. So the top three have snuck away. And my teammate PK leads the race right now, and you can see up there's a move coming up. That's Alain Prost making a move on out in centre. Oh, and centre's off. Centre's off. So far it's making sense. Senna out of the race, or at least off the track and out of contention for now. The top three cars on the track right now are the top three cars from the official results of the actual race, but they're in a different order. We need to get to the front, and those two need to stay in the positions that they're in. These things are monsters. H-pattern manual, clutch, heel toe downshifts, absolute brutality under the throttle. Oh, first gear's a little bit dicey down there, but our tyres are starting to come up to temp. Just got to hope that they last. It looks like fuel consumption's actually turned off. We've got 90 litres on board for a slightly shorter race. Thinking that would be enough. But it looks like it's not wearing, not consuming any fuel anyway. Got the Professor, Alain Prost, one of the most difficult guys in the history of Formula One to overtake. Very calculated driver. I think we've got a little pace advantage on him here though. Just got to find a spot to do it. He defends. Oh. The brakes are so tough in these things, you can't really overstep. Oh, 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 oh. My heart stopped for a second. Very slow in a couple of corners. Maybe conserving and protecting the tyres and the brakes. Of course, back in these days, you couldn't just drive 100% all race. The car would break. Can we get down the inside into turn one? We can. Although he hangs it around the outside. Oh! We're clear. Side by side through turn one. That's scary. Brands Hatch. And we're already 5 laps in. They're just so fast. This is constant power all the way up through the gears. They never stop pulling. 6th gear, 270 kilometers an hour on what is a reasonably short straight in terms of F1 circuits. We've already had a couple of retirements out of the race. A bit deep under brakes there. Which is standard. We've got 19 cars left running already, I can tell from some timing that I'm running. And you'd expect lots of retirements. I think it was only 9 cars that actually finished this race in real life. Reliability, such a key in 80s F1 racing. I just love the H pattern. Go straight from 6th to 4th. Making some inroads now. Our teammate PK in the lead. Pretty typically overcast British day. But can you imagine how hard it must have been for F1 drivers of this era? There's a big shunt at the very start of the race. You see one of your fellow drivers getting airlifted out in a bad way, you know. Well, like Jacques Latif, an accomplished driver. One of your fellow drivers on the grid airlifted out, cut out of the car. An hour and a half later, you're back on the grid in the cockpit, ready to do it all again, just knowing that a crash could happen to you next. Scary time to be a race car driver. It was no different in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s before it. Starting to get to some lap traffic as well up here. These are brutish. Like, they are hard work. My arms are already sore. I've got a lot of force feedback wound into my wheel. So the wheel's really heavy. It's fighting against me at every turn. Then the shifting. Pretty active with the pedals as well. A lot of gear shifts in these cars. You're kind of always going up through the gearbox and back down again. So we've got Nannini, the first of the lap cars up here by the look of it. Oh, no. You can see we had built a big gap over second place, but that's going to hurt us right there. That might mean that this... Oh, we're just in front of Prost. He's right on our backside. We lost 10 seconds. I was just about to talk about the gaps building quite big and quickly. We're going to have our work cut out now. We've got 20 laps basically to try and bridge this gap and get the win. Now, lap traffic may cause problems because the AI in Assetto Corsa doesn't really like going around lap traffic, especially in cars like this that are so fast. So we'll see. We may be able to make that gap back up pretty quickly. I almost caught it. And then I didn't. Just gotta try and let the tyres cool off a little bit before we get too extreme with pushing on here. It looks like PK has cleared the traffic already, so now we've got to do it. Oh, and they're so slow. Problem is that I'm not very good at getting the power on. So I got the two teammates. Oh! I looked away just for a second. So that's Palmer. Oh! And this is what is a Rothengatter. Oh, wow. Oh my god, they're just so hard to drive when they're not fully on the limit. We're losing chunks of time. Here we go. Rothengatter, yeah, I'm not familiar with that name. I've always enjoyed the history of F1, obviously. This is before my time. But I've enjoyed going back and learning a lot about the history of the sport, motorsport in general, but F1 is fascinating. So I know a lot of the names and a lot of the cars and things like that, but there are a few that I've still never heard of. But I know all the drivers on the grid are correct because I did go through and manually set all the grid and all the AI strengths and everything to be accurate to real life. Oh, we've got some dust. Someone's been wired up here. Not the leader though. Try and hunt down Nelson. He's only 5 seconds up the road. He's been held up a little bit. There he is. Big meaty downshift. You wouldn't probably do that in real life in these days. Good way to terminate an engine or a gearbox. Alright, PK's got through one more. We're making good time on him in the traffic, which is good. Although we still have to navigate it. We saw what happened last time I had to get through some lap cars. It's Philip Streif. It's going to block down at the end of the straight. The AI cars. Oh! That's Prost. So the results have changed. Prost will not be getting a podium. Out of P3 and he's around. Now, we'll be super careful here. Got Dumfries. Misshift. Missgate on the shifter there. That was awkward. That's Tembe in front of him. Patrick Tembe. You really do have to just pick your moments. There's no real room around there. Consider trying to get a sneaky one down the outside. Oh, I can see that going badly. Prost still parked off to the side. There's no going around the outside of anyone up here. Stay in line, take it easy, and then hammer down the Cazares. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Cesar? Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh. Cesaris, maybe. Formation flying for the Williams so far, though. Oh, curb. I'm also running 60% boost in this race too. I don't know that that's accurate to what they would have run in the real life in the race trim. I'm not sure how much or little they used to run, to be honest. That's something I'm really not sure about. You can see that on the dash there, 60%. We've still got 90 litres, so yeah, forgot to turn on fuel usage. At least we won't have to worry about running out of fuel. I don't think that the AI will have to pit, I hope. Oh, a bit of a brake lock. That was pretty deep under brakes there. Wrong gear. You can get away with that in real life. As we cross the half race distance, just trying to figure out whereabouts the best place for a move would be. As we got a little bit wide down into the final corner there and almost got off the track. Certainly better under brakes in a couple of spots. I'm not as good at putting the power on, probably because I'm scared that I'm going to die, especially in second gear. Certainly not as brave through the fast right-hander up at the top of the hill. See that turbo spool up, get ready. Almost a little bit of a defensive line taken into turn one. Oh, no, no. Oh, we touched the stupid curb. Don't touch those. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how good these things sound, by the way? This is when race cars were race cars. How they should be. Coming up on the back of Stefan Johansson. Not fully convinced that I'll be able to use him as a pick, but we'll try. Although we got a bad run through that corner. The defensive line down into turn one by the lap car as well. Starting to look like that might be just... Oh! The racing line for the AI cars. We don't want to touch that curb again. We know what happened last time. Oh! I just can't take advantage of that because I'm not very good at getting the power on. Maybe running too much boost. Lap car causing grief. And again, just diminishing returns around the outside. Again, they go side by side. He's off. Oh, PK's off. He's back on behind, but we're through. That could be it. Oh, we missed the downshift and we've gone off. No, you're kidding me. Oh, I just didn't engage gear. Just rolled into neutral and it would not stop, and I was really scared about banging it back into neutral because I didn't want to compression lock the rears and go around. So I was better off just driving it off the track. I can't believe it because we actually just had the lead. We're about to get to 2/3 race distance as well. Again, got to be better at my gear shifts, guys. I can't. It's going to spin me around in a minute. If I keep doing that, I'm going to have a big lose. I think I'm just trying to downshift a little too early. Or maybe slightly too quickly. Oh man, the pull. When you put the foot down and it just sticks in those corners. Alright, now we've got to get this move done. We've got to do it on the track. I did feel a little cheap getting the overtake done because of a mistake. Trying to get a better run off the corner. Oh, and he's off again. He's off again. He tried to go around the outside and went off again. I think he's recovered. He has. Again, back on the track. So lucky. The AI making poor decisions around the outside and the fastest corner on the track. But we've got a decent lead now. Tell you what, Frank Williams would be having a heart attack in the pits if he saw that sort of stuff going on. Side by side through the fastest corner of the track for the race lead. Let's go see if we can pull away. We've got a 3.5 second lead. Wow, that was committed through there that time and it's still stuck. They have a lot of corner grip. We got Alboreto. An exhaust crackle. So good. Ferrari's not having a good day. Whoa. I don't know why I decided to go for 5th gear there for the first time in the entire race. Some clumsy mischiefs happening at the minute. We need to tidy that up. It will hurt us if we keep doing it. We've got a little bit more of a lead over Nelson now. He's back to 8 seconds. Getting stuck with that traffic that we got through a couple laps ago. Swear to God, it's only going to be a 30-lap race and I'm going to have cramped arms and hands and everything after this. I am sweating. This is the hardest thing I've done, I reckon, in the sim, driving these things around. Still a Land Prost. Car just sitting off the side of the track there. Got a whole heap of lap traffic coming up. Some of the cars were coming around for the second time to lap. There's Riccardo Patrese that we're about to go past here first, and then we're back to Nannini again for the second time. And Rottengatter the second time up next as well. These two flying formation, the two teammates. Jonathan Palmer in front of him. So we're lapping these guys for the second time. Almost looks like a bit of tyre wear on the rear tyres of those cars. I don't know if it's just me seeing that or what. Lap 26. Next we got in P10, Alan Jones. Every Australian race fan should know who Alan Jones is. In fact, every race fan should know who Alan Jones is, former world champion. Oh, that's what I was talking about. When it goes into neutral and then flicks back into gear, you get compression lock in the rear tyres, and you just do not need it in these cars, especially at that part of the track. We got DeCesaro at the front of this queue that we're lapping for the second time as well. And right behind him, Martin Brundle. He's running an 8th. He got a 5th in this race in real life. It's a great result in the Tyrrell. Wrong, misgated just about on the gear shift there. Had to delay the shift. And then in the middle now, behind Brundle, is Ayrton Senna. In the Lotus. We DNF'd in this race, I believe. And he's still recovering from that off that we saw at the very start of the race. When he ran wide, I think it was up here at turn 1. Side by side with Brundle through turn 1, scary stuff. We got away with it. Might be the last of the traffic for the race. Only got a couple of laps to go. We've got a big gap to the next car. Can't see him. And I don't know where my teammate is behind me anymore. He's too far back. I don't know longer see him in the mirror. Teo Fabi's the next car on track, but he's a fair way away. He's racing with Rene Arnoux for 6th place. Only 2 laps to go. I don't know that we'll get there. Yeah, still can't even see him here, so they're a fair way up the road. Oh! Maybe the tyres are going away. Because that was a huge slide right there. We were lucky to catch that. You're lucky to catch anything in these cars. If you have a moment, it's usually just game over. So we come to the white flag. As we drive around on this last lap, we'll just think about it. The reason why I'm doing the video in the first place, and it's sad news about Frank Williams, but what a man he was, and what did he accomplish? Just so much. He was behind this race happening like this all those years ago. Well-orchestrated team 1-2 in the British Grand Prix with the British driver and Nigel Mansell winning the race. British team. And I'm sure Frank will be missed by many, many people. But he proved what is possible if you battle away. He started small and achieved the greatest possible things in F1 as a team. Sad, sad news, but all the same, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Hobbo88. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in the next one.